Muslim fundamentalists and Pakistan's all-male political system when she chose to assume her father's mantle of leadership. She became Pakistan's prime minister in 1988. Like her father before her, Benazir endured time in prison and was dismissed from office by Pakistan's president. Now the man who replaced her as premier has also been removed. Pakistanis will go to the polls this summer. Ms. Bhutto joins us now in our Atlanta studio to discuss what those elections could mean for Pakistan. Mrs. Bhutto, thank you for joining us. First of all, though, you were fired, if you will, by the president of Pakistan. Now your successor has been. What do you think that means for democracy in Pakistan?
In 5 years, we've had 3 prime ministers and 3 parliaments, which reflects the political instability in Pakistan. That's why I believe these elections are important for Pakistan to present itself to the world and its own people as a truly democratic nation and not one where democracy becomes a farce.
Do you think that there's a fear, though, that the people are going to be apathetic about elections? I mean, if they continue to elect governments and the president continues to fire them, what's the point?
There is a feeling of despondency, and that's why we've asked the president to take certain measures to ensure that the elections are free and can inspire the confidence of the people. And he has said that he will examine these proposals. I do think that there is a degree of apathy. What good is it to elect a government that doesn't last or doesn't truly reflect us? So it's a test for Pakistan, but one I hope we'll pass.
And is there any guarantee that the president is going to stand back this time? I mean, what sort of accountability does he have to face?
Well, there are no guarantees in life, but one has certain goals, and one strives to achieve those goals. I've been struggling for more than a decade for a representative government and a rule of law in Pakistan. And I believe that public opinion agrees today that the sovereignty of Parliament should be restored if democracy is to take root in the country.
Moving now to a slightly different subject, the head of the CIA has basically said that as far as Washington is concerned, Pakistan is on the brink of being considered as a nation that supports terrorism. How do you respond to that?
I'm concerned about the image Pakistan is beginning to get worldwide. After enjoying a period of tremendous Western support during the Afghan war, we are becoming increasingly isolated. I believe that if these elections are fair and the Pakistan People's Party and I return to power, we'll work with our friends to bring Pakistan out of isolation and to end the fears that have arisen about the nature of our state's policies. I would also like to appeal that the terrorism issue be put aside during the elections so that it does not become an election issue.
Why don't you think it should be an election issue, though?
It will be far more difficult to handle if emotions become involved. And campaigns are a time when temperatures rise. So what I'm saying is, let a new government come into place and give the new government a time to deal with this issue. We've dealt with problematic issues before. When I was Prime Minister, we were in danger of having Pakistan's aid cut off on the nuclear issue, but we overrode that obstacle. So I'm confident that given the political will, the leadership within Pakistan, in the military and in the civilian side, can work together with its friends overseas to ensure that the threat is met.
You raised the nuclear issue. In the past, Pakistan's position has been that it will not join the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Club until India does. Do you think that perhaps the time has come for Pakistan to take the lead?
It's very difficult for Pakistan, given the tensions in Kashmir and the tensions with India, to take a unilateral step. But we overcame this problem in the past, and I don't see why, given the will, we should not overcome it again. I shall try to do so with my own country's military and president, as I did in the past.
Briefly now, again, moving perhaps further west, Pakistan is a Muslim country. It recently hosted a meeting of Muslim foreign ministers to discuss the situation in Bosnia-Herzegovina. What role do you think, or what is the reaction now of the Muslim world continuing, as we can continue to see the carnage in Bosnia-Herzegovina?
The massacre of Muslims in the heart of Europe is something which has shocked the entire Muslim world, and indeed, I believe, human conscience everywhere, particularly when the Muslim world rallied around at the time of the Gulf War. Questions are being asked that why is the world so slow to react now? And that's a question the world ought to answer by getting together and solving the problem.
Mrs. Bhutto, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Former Pakistani Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto joined us here in our Atlanta studio. Frank?
Thanks, Hillary. Well, just ahead.